we haven't met before, this is my inner stargazing in class. So the idea is that you take the time to go within yourself, to tune into your own internal cosmic landscape, to start to sort out all the mysteries, basically. I find that as things will, maybe not all of you are in Berlin, you could be all over the world, but I know for us here in Berlin, or at least I can speak for myself, that as things have been opening up and then summer has been kind of going on full swing, it just feels a bit busier, and maybe it's just my excitement that has heightened, and so I want to do more things. I've become more active, and this enthusiasm for wanting to do so much has actually left me going around like this all the time. And even today, I was kind of joking about it earlier in my lecture, but like, yeah, I'm so busy. But on Tuesdays, it's like, I'm so busy with yin. I'm just so busy with yin, doing double yin. So, but it's so nice to have the time to do essentially nothing, just to drop into yourself. And this might be the hardest challenge if you're at home, because there's all these distractions around you. I mean, like even in my home, I'm like, look at all these plants. I want to talk and water to all of them. But be with yourself, be with the practice. If you want to talk with your plants, of course you can. But try to use this time to really go in, is what I'm trying to say, because there's a lot of activity in general in summertime, and whether or not you're taking part of it, you're still absorbing it through your senses. So it's important to take time to integrate what's going on so that you can better sort how you're going to direct your energy moving forward. Yeah, so you can really make the most out of what life has to offer. So we'll get started sitting in a meditative seat. Again, intention here is just to be with yourself, be with the practice. And yeah, as always, when we come into our, oh, someone else is trying to get in. Okay. This is the one class where I admit people. So find yourself in a meditative seat. If you want to sit on the bolster, of course you can. And you can bring let's actually bring our palms down on the thighs. Even if you're looking to receive energy, you can have your palms up later on. But for now, palms down so that you can really anchor yourself into where you are. And allow your eyes to close and just feel into your body. And feel a bit deeper into your body by listening to your breath as it streams in and out. And remember, the idea of coming to the inner star gazing in is to gaze inwards into the infinite of yourself. So do your best to keep your attention within you throughout your practice so that you can cleanse, heal, enhance, sort out, realign. Your intention can be anything, but be with yourself so that you can be a bit more vibrant, or you're a bit more fulfilled in the totality of yourself as you go on through life. Now we're going to feel into the edges of the seat. So as you inhale, bring your torso forward for Sufi grinds. Excuse me. And as you exhale, curl back and round. And you just kind of keep moving around. And if you're feeling it more in the hips and the pelvic region, you can keep the circles there. you want to work out something there in the core, you can. Chest, heart area, feel free. That's part of why we sit with our meditation at the beginning, so that we can just get an overall sense for what's happening in the body. You can move as fast or as slow as you want. And then bring your circles in the other direction. And then slowly you can bring yourself right back through center. Feel your sits bones anchoring into the earth. Feel your hips loosening up so that the knees can work their way down towards the ground. Feel a bit of fire element there at the core, holding you towards your center. Connect to the air element there at the heart. Allow the shoulders to drop away from the ears so the neck is long, connecting into the resonance of sound. Imagine or sense a beam of light, the third eye, space between the eyebrows. And tap into the celestial heart, into the ether as the crown of the head reaches up. Now breathing in from the core of the earth, up through the earth, through the base of your spine. Keep breathing in. Draw the energy up through all the elements within your spine at the centers, out through the crown of the head, all the way up towards the sun or the moon. And as you exhale, this light from the sky travels down through the crown, through your spine, the wisdom channel, and back down into the earth. Again, inhaling deeply from the core of the earth, pulling up an abundance of energy, of force, of prana as you feel it lighting up through your spine, traveling up, all the way up, beyond yourself, outside of your house, into the sky, amidst the stars, connecting with the sun or the moon. And exhale, allow it to draw down, and it's almost like a shooting star. And down through the crown, through the spine, to the ground, back into the core of the earth. So you keep feeling into these polarities as you continue to ride the wave of your breath. In the meditation practice, it's quite direct. But see too, if even throughout the postures in the yin practice, if you can continue to follow this line of energy, and you might notice that it starts to weave outside of the center channel, might flow into Ida and Pingala, but there's 72,000 nadis, energetic channels within ourselves that you can direct the breath into. So there's a lot to explore. Now allow your hands to come to your heart center. Perhaps you can connect with why you're here. What is it that you are looking to explore, to seek, reveal within you? And if you don't know, that's okay, because that gives so much space for receptivity. But to unite virtually together, we're going to sing the sound of Om, and we'll allow this vibration to shake things up a bit within us so that there's a clear path to creating this direct access to what it is that we're seeking within us. Take a deep breath in first to clear. Exhale out. Breathe in for Om. So from here, you can open your eyes. If you want to use the playlist, you can use the playlist. This is up to you. We're going to start on our backs, actually. So you'll come to lie down. We're just going to work a little bit here in the low back and also here in the pelvic bowl. Yeah, so you can bring your hands to your hips if you'd like, and your feet are flat to the mat. And we're just going to take very gentle movement to start. So you start to curl the hips towards the ribs, and the sit bones lift up a little bit. And as you exhale, you let the low back flatten out onto the floor and reach the tailbone down so you create a slight curve here in your spine. And then inhale, curling up, just very gently, and exhale, lowering it down. And you can move back and forth along this linear line if you like, as you just start to smooth out the edges. If you find a place along the way that really interests you, you can stay there. You can also, just as an option, you can start to make the knees go in little circles so that you start to circle out through the low back, just loosening up what's going on there in the hips and in the root chakra. I always kind of imagine it like you have a seed and it's planted, but once the seed opens up and starts to sprout, it has to kind of wiggle its way up through the darkness to find its way up to the light. So it's the same thing here. Imagine you have this little seed and it's just starting to wiggle its way out of the shell so it can begin to sprout open. If you just want to do this for an hour, you can. I'm a bit inspired to do that. But for now, what we'll do is you can extend your right leg up towards the ceiling, yeah, and flex through your foot. Turn the toes out 45 degrees. Cross the right ankle on top of the left thigh. Ensure that your foot stays flexed to protect your knee. Then lift your left knee off the mat. Take your right hand, thread it through between the legs. Take your left arm around and interlace the hands. And it can be on top of the left knee or on the underside of the leg. And take a deep breath in. Same thing through the totality of your spine. And exhale, you can soften a bit more and hold it into you. Just getting my timer ready and I hit the bowl, so it's a little extra sound bath experience. But ensure that the spine is long here, so the chin is slightly in towards the chest. You keep breathing through this smooth line of energy through the spine. And along the way, if it tends to work its way off the path and into other places that feel sensational, direct it there, concentrate there. And the more you pull the left knee in, and the further you guide the right knee away from you, the deeper the sensation will be. Now, typically in yin, we just stay more or less still in the poses. But if you want to, you can. You can go a little bit from side to side. And you might notice how the sensation within the pose starts to spread around a little bit. Now take a deep breath in where you are. Let the breath spread into the right hip, into the glute. Roll back and exhale everything out. Inhale and out. Go the leg. Plant the left foot on the floor. Do your best to extend the right leg up. We just did quite a bit of external rotation, so ensure that the knee is facing towards you, so you're internally rotating the leg now. You can, if you have a strap at home or a belt, you can take it around the foot. I'm just going to show like so, taking the hands here on the calf is fine as well. Reach above the foot, take a deep breath in. And exhale, you can start to bend the elbows to encourage the leg closer to you. Just keep it that. So start to lengthen out to the back sides of the legs. If you want to extend your left leg out, you can, but this is just optional. This is a funny one for me. Sometimes I'll feel nothing. Other times it's like the most intense thing in the back side of my leg. So you just breathe with it. Because your breath is what carries the prana, which helps to loosen things up a bit. And if you need to have softness in your knee, you can. And now take a deep breath in where you are. Exhale out. Let go of the right leg. You can bend the knee. And then just take a few circles here. If you need to take your right hand on the knee to help guide it, you can. And then you can, for now we'll just extend our right leg out beside the left. Just notice the difference. Whoa. Breathe into it. Breathe out. Good. We're going to move into the left side. So to start, bend your right knee. Extend your left leg up towards the ceiling. Flex through the left foot. Turn your left toes out 45 degrees or 90 degrees. Bend your left knee, cross the ankle on top of the thigh, figure 4. Reach your hands through the triangle of the legs. Wrap your arm around. Squeeze the right knee in as you guide the left knee away. Starting to ease into our hips. Very easy to check out completely here. So just, since we still have a little bit of time left, again, just check in. Maybe pull the knee in a bit more. Naturally, you've already created a bit of space. Keep pressing the left knee away from you. You can even rock a little bit from side to side in the low back. This I've always really loved because not only does it feel so juicy for the low back, but you start to feel how the sensation spreads into the hip. And you can really linger and breathe deeper in certain places if you feel the call. Take a deep breath in where you are. Exhale out. Go. Allow your right foot to come to the mat. Extend your left leg up. Reach through the ball of the foot. Just elongate through the back side of the leg. Breathe in. And as you exhale, you can wrap your sweet hands around the calf or the top of the leg and pull the leg closer into you. You might notice one side's a bit more open than the other. Remember to keep the leg internally rotated here though. Because when it starts to externally rotate and you pull it in, you're not working the hamstring. You want to stretch the back side of the leg so internally rotate and keep hugging in. If you wish to extend the bottom leg out, you can. The choice is yours. One thing to keep in mind, if your bottom leg's extended, try not to bring this curve in the spine. You want the low back to be flat, so if you need to have the foot down to help, that's fine. Take a deep breath in. And exhale out. Release. You can bend the left knee, take little circles here. If you need to control it a bit, you can have your left palm on the left knee. And just for a brief moment, what you're going to do is bring the soles of your feet together and then reach for the outside edges of the feet and then pull the feet in towards you and press the knees away. So it's like a supta, it's like a Baddha Konasana, a supta, but you're still holding it in. So you lengthen out through your back. You can even kind of rock the hips here, side to side, sway the knees. And the more you press your knees away, the deeper you'll work into your hips and the longer your spinal field. We're not going to hold this for an extended amount of time, but just be here now and breathe deep and out. Relax the face as well, the jaw, the tongue, away from the roof of the mouth. Take a deep breath in. Exhale everything out completely. Release the feet, the knees into the palms of the hands, and just start to rock back and forth. If you want to roll like a ball, you can. So you come all the way up. And we're going to work our way into swan. So it's basically pigeon pose. So we're going to bring your right shin forward. And no, actually we're going to do lizard. Sorry. I mean, if you're like swan, yeah, then you can go ahead and do it. But for lizard, you're going to, the reason why I'm suggesting lizard is because we already did the figure 4 stretch. And so this way we can get into our hip flexor and our quad. So your right foot is stepped to the outside of your mat. Then you come down into your elbows, your forearms. Feel free to use a prop. And continue to pull the heart forward here. If it bothers you to have the back thigh down, you can take a pillow or a bolster underneath. This is also a nice variation if you are pregnant, just depending on the trimester. It's definitely better when you're further along because this way your belly has more space. But you don't have to be pregnant. You can also just have very tight quadriceps, and this way you can still kind of feel a release, yeah? Or bring your pillow in front of you. Maybe even rest your head down. And try to keep the hips level. In other words, don't sink into the right hip.
or the left hip. Yeah, you want the hips balanced. Really important too, when you work into the hips, especially, is to really let out long exhales. Because as you know, the hips are the place that really store a lot of what we're taking in on a daily basis. That might be why they're tight. It's not you, it's just what you're taking in. So let out like a like a sigh of release. And this will help to loosen things up a bit. And the great thing is you're at home, so you can be as loud as you want. You know, make the crazy sound. As you wish. Take a deep breath in where you are. And exhale out. Crawl your hands up. Now, whether you took lizard or swan, pigeon, whatever you want to call it, what I suggest is taking the three-legged dog from there. So you can walk your hands up, tuck underneath the back toes, and lift your right leg up high. Circle it out as you like. You can come to downward facing dog. And from here, we're going to step our left foot forward, wide, outside the mat. Oh, yes. And then tuck underneath the back toes. Work the leg back. And then you have lizard, or as they call it in yin, dragon on the other side. You can just stay like so. Even if you want to keep up on your hands, feel free. If you want to lower down to your elbows and forearms, or take a bolster underneath, you can do that as well. Just breathe deep where you are so you can acclimate into the position. can have a yawn if you want. And see what happens, like I just did, if you miss my clear face. Well, the hum is also super therapeutic. We continue to loosen things up, especially as we reach towards the end of being here. Really cleanse, dig out anything that doesn't belong. And take a deep breath in. Exhale everything out. Walk your hands up. Underneath the back toes. Make your legs long. And then just do what you need to do. I personally like, then just circle out to the left leg. And then we'll come onto our knees. So actually what you're going to do from here, we're going to take toe stand. We're going to open up through the back sides of our feet. So you're on the balls of the feet and the arches lift up. You see? You should be able to see your feet are opening up. So it's not like this. It's not Virasana. However, you're going to be here for a bit and it might get very intense before you know it, or it might not. So what I suggest is you can take a pillow or a bolster and you can sit on top, and this will just give a bit more space. Yeah? So, toe stand it is. Go ahead, set yourself up. And then from your toe stand, we're going to take a wrist stretch. So I know this isn't like traditional yin, but just bring you back into your body, and plus the wrists also need a bit of work, especially if you're at a computer for a lot of the day, or you're texting people or swiping on your online dating app. This will help you to strengthen those wrists so you won't be so fatigued. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring your left hand forward and then turn it out. So I go counterclockwise so the fingertips turn down. Yeah? Then you can bend your elbow, take a hold of your pinky with the right hand, stretch out the left arm now, take a deep breath in, pull the pinky back towards the forearm, and exhale out. Breathe in, stretch out thumb to pinky, really open up through the underside of the hand leg, and out. Now let go of the pinky, take a hold of your next finger, your ring finger, straighten through left arm, stretch out between pinky and thumb. Take a deep breath in, send it to the wrist, and out. Deep breath in, out. Good. Now middle finger, pull it back, stretch out through the wrist, pinky and thumb, stretch away, breathe in, and out. Breathing in, and out. Go, take a hold of the index fingers, stretch out for the hands, breathing in,
Nose. Deepen. Cross. Now your thumb. Pull it away. Stretch out the hand like jazz hands. Breathe into it. Exhale out. Breathe in and out. Let go. Take a little swirl of the wrist. Good. Now we're going to move into the right side. I just moved my pillow out because I'm going to intensify my toe stand. So I'll stretch out the right hand. Take a hold of the pinky. From pinky to thumb. Breathe in. Open up through the wrist. Stretch out. Exhale out. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Ring fingers, stretch it away. Stretch out thumb and pinky. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. And out. Middle finger, stretch out. Breathe in. And out. Breathing in. Ooh, and out. Index finger. Soles of feet getting fiery. Breathe deep. Stretch out. Fingertip to thumb. And out. Breathing in. And out. You've got it. Just your thumb is left. Pull the thumb back. Stretch out. Fingertip to fingertip. Breathe into the wrist. And out. Breathe in. And out. Roll out the wrist. Come onto your hands and knees. You might want to tap the tops of your feet down, opening up through the top sides of the feet. Shaking out a bit. And sit back on your heels now in Virasana so that the tops of the feet are flat onto the floor. So you get to stretch open through the top sides of the ankle here. Breathing in again from the earth. All the way up through the spine. All the way up the crown of the head towards the stars. Exhale, energy transcends down through the spine, back down into the earth, into the core. And breathing in. And exhale. So here you're going to sit over into the hips and extend your legs out. We're going to take caterpillar pose, so also known as Paschimottanasana. You take traditional yoga classes. I mean, yin is traditional, they just have different names. So ways you can work your caterpillar. Caterpillar is like the crawl, right? They kind of inch in it. So you can bend your knees if you need and take the bolster underneath. And if you want even a bolster or a pillow for your head, you can. I think I'm going to take this variation tonight because I'm still a bit sore from the crazy amount of skating and dance, skating, running I was doing this weekend. But if you want something where you really get to stretch out to the bottom side of the legs, you can always take the prop on top. Inhale, find length. Exhale, fold forward. Actually, this is quite nice as well. Maybe I stay here. I changed my mind.
But do make sure the toes are pointing up. Again, if the toes are turning out, then you're working not the undersides of the legs. You want to work the hamstrings here. Hands ready. Here we go. This is also really nice for the low back. So if you feel like this is the place that needs to open up, send your energy there. However, something to keep in mind is that for some people, they come into a forward fold and they get tension in the low back because they're coming into it like this. And you're curling. So you do have to think about pulling the heart forward, lengthening, and then hinging, and lengthening, and then hinging. And then eventually you can lower the head down. And take a deep breath in where you are. Exhale out. Up through your spine. Slide your props out of the way. And then you're going to come back onto your back. But this time we're going to move into a twist. Just for a bit, so you can work on kind of cleansing out anything. Twisting is such a nice, sweet way to detoxify. So press down into your feet, slide your hips over towards the right, just a few centimeters. Bend both knees to a tabletop, and then drop your knees over towards the left, but keep the knees in line with the navel center. You can allow the left hand to guide it down. Keep your right shoulder down. So this way, as we talked about, we're taking in so much, especially with summertime energy being very high. So this isn't just a nice way to naturally digest it all. There's a lot of things about summer that are super amazing and that can nourish you and inspire you, but there's also maybe some that's a bit too much. This is a nice way to release it. Take a deep breath in where you are. And exhale out. Right back through center. And press into the feet. Slide your hips over towards the left, just an inch or so. And then bend your knees. And drop your knees over towards the right. Side twist. Oh, little snap, crackle, pop. Breathe deep so that you can really soften and surrender into it. Take a deep breath in. Exhale everything out. Come right back onto your back. Make sure you slide your hips towards the center. From here, you can close your practice as you like. What I would do if I were you is just extend the legs straight up, like legs up the walls. And so we did lots of work here behind the legs. It can feel quite nice. Also a sweet way to reset the nervous system. If you don't have a wall, you can extend your legs just as I am. And if you want to turn it into a shoulder stand, feel free. My body isn't warm for that right now. But yeah, as you like. And then I'm going to set up the crystal bowls for our deep relaxation. So just take this time completely for you and to how you wish to close off your practice.
Alrighty. So, that was not supposed to happen. But you're more than welcome to continue to stretch and roll around as you like. It's one of the beauties of being at home. It's just being able to do as you please for your practice. However, it is very important to find some time in stillness, at least 5 minutes. So we're going to have a longer sound bath. So when you feel the call to go into your meditation or shavasana, please take that for yourself. So that the body can really integrate the shifts, whether they are subtle or grand, that have happened in your practice. Every breath is an opportunity for transformation, and so whether we are connected to it or not, a lot is changing as we speak within us and around us. So this gives us space to really settle in, reconnect, realign. If it's hard to hear the bowls, I recommend turning up the volume on your device. If you also want to turn down the music or turn off the playlist, this is also advisable. So once you come into your place to receive, or wherever you are, just take a deep breath in and exhale out the mouth. Breathe in and exhale out. Breathe in. Exhale. And just allow yourself to receive. Feel free to stay in your rest, in your meditation for as long as you want. It's actually quite beneficial just to allow yourself to be. But you want to close your practice. Just start to feel your breath. Feel the sweetness of it as it looms beneath the surface of your skin. As it starts to sparkle into these mysterious areas that perhaps you even reawakened. And then as you call in the breath and connect to your breath, you can invite some organic movement into the body, wiggling through fingertips to toes, as you like. So that eventually you feel yourself coming upright to sit nice and tall. Summer is such a powerful time of the year. Lots of excitement in the air. Even if it's not how the old summers used to be, there's still a lot of space for connection, for freedom, for celebration. And it's so easy to get caught up in it all, so it's just as important to live your life to the fullest and to celebrate as it is to tune in and to honor where that celebration comes from, the very core of your being. The seed that's been planted that allows you to blossom in your own unique way. So when you come to the meditation, you're able to really sit and nourish it. And so that when you go on to live your life and to celebrate your life, you're even brighter, more effervescent. Your magnetism is stronger as you continue to attract what it is that will enhance your life, what enhances your spirit. You continue to surround yourself with the energy that you too are looking to cultivate, that you are cultivating. And that's why we come together, so we support each other, uplift each other in the process. And even now, though we're all in our separate places, in the comfort of our own homes or wherever you may be, we can still virtually connect. We still were virtually connected, doing the same practice together. And in honor of that, we'll close with an Om. Allow this Om to resonate from the seed of your being so that it can emerge from the darkness and blossom beneath the full light. Take a deep breath in, first to clear. Exhale out. Connect to your seed. Inhale, draw the energy up. Thank you all so much for joining. My website is there, Instagram is there as well. If you need it again, it's just my name there in the corner, Katsy Shamans. So would love to stay connected in real life. Anna and I have a retreat coming up in August. There's some spaces available, swimming. We won't be virtual, we'll be together at a distance, 1.5 meters,
and eating such nourishing food. It's such a great way to really come together. Yeah, sorry, I'm going on a retreat tangent, but whenever I think of the ones in the past, I think about the connections I've made and how they really enhance my life moving forward. So I feel connection is something that we've lacked a little bit of in Corona times. So if you're feeling that, please reach out so that we can have you there with us. Otherwise, just stay tuned and posted. The virtual schedule might change a bit. I'm feeling more eager to be in the studio